Hey guys, every so often we get very lucky with a pretty cool car that actually comes to us instead of us having to hunt it down, and today is one of those days. We just bought a brand new, well, new to us, 1995 Nissan Pathfinder. Now, if you know anything about Nissans, you know that the first generation was body on frame, the second generation was unibody, body on frame, unibody. All right, Todd, so why did you think of TFL and where did the car come from?
Well, TFL is watched a lot in our household. And,
thank you.
We keep
very grateful.
We keep track of almost every show. We can't even keep up with. There's so many of them. Mm-hmm. And my son follow him very, very closely. And we saw the addition with the new Frontier, and you commented at the end about if you know of one, and I'm like, give it a try. And we sent you an email. I thought I would not hear a response, and guess what? We heard a response.
Yeah.
And we picked this up not too many weeks ago in Wyoming. We shot you guys some pictures and you said, hey, yeah, we're interested. I called my son immediately and said, Derek, we got a trip to make, and we shot over here and brought it down to you guys. So, and it's clean. I believe it really only has about 68 to 70,000 miles on it. It's pretty much all still factory, great shape, not out of the Rust Belt, so it's in really good shape that way. We drove it down here from LaGrange, Wyoming, which was 2.5 hours, not a problem. Yep. It was great. So, yep.
Yeah, so we're kind of working our way through what I consider are undervalued and underappreciated vehicles that you can take off-road, right? Because the off-road world is exploding. And so I think we started with the Touareg, where people didn't know how good that was, the first generation. And then, of course, we did the ML, which we proved wasn't as good as we thought. And so, I think that this first generation hard body, because it was based on the hard body pickup truck that Nissan was building at the time. And this is a 95, which is the last of the first generation. I believe it was a Toronto in Japan, and back then actually Nissan was racing and doing Dakar, and so it's really cool to get our hands on one that's I would say very clean, and I'm going to use a weird word, but it's true, unmolested, right? What ends up happening with these older cars is people want to make it their own, and so they do funky things to them, like put on hood scoops and all kinds of
tires,
and all kinds of goofiness. So Tommy, why don't you give them a walk around? Here's the key, and just show it to them, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, do you know the color name officially?
Officially, no. But is it silver or is it gold is the question.
Yeah, so it's this really cool silver gold color. Now the cool thing about these early Pathfinders too is they wanted it to look like a two-door, so the front door handles are here and the rears are back here. I love that it has its original Pathfinder graphics down here along the side. Brand new Goodyear Wrangler radial tires, which are pretty neat. And most of these Pathfinders you see are just totally roached, but there's nothing along the side in terms of rust, nothing in the rear. It's really clean.
Yeah, let me show you the interior, and then we'll pop the hood and show you what's under the hood, which obviously is not a V8.
It is not a V8, no. But here, pop the hood and I'll finish around back here. So the only little bit of rust is down here in the bumper. But Nissan Pathfinder XEV6 as well. It's got a limited slip rear differential, this really cool spare tire carrier as well. You can see how that mounts up back there. I mean, it's just awesome to see one of these in a condition that isn't just, beyond recognition. It's a very, very, very unusual thing.
I'm very grateful when actually somebody comes to us and we don't have to hunt it down, and especially you guys, because not only did you, I take it, spend a lot of time cleaning it because it's pristine, so thank you, but you also put on new tires, which is also a big deal, and you drove it down here, which proves to me that it works, and the engine, look at the engine bay, it's like, it's brand new, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Derek, do you remember what the horsepower rating was? You kind of had it off the top of your head.
174 or 175 horsepower, I think, from the factory. Don't quote me on that.
So just under 200 horsepower.
Just under 200 horsepower.
Yeah, super cool. And is it a 3.5? Is that right?
It's a 3-liter.
3-liter.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Look back on the.
And it's actually.
Yeah, right 3,000. Look at that.
Yeah, and it's actually fuel injected, which is pretty cool. Yep. Which is great. I think they went, like I said, in '90 they went from throttle body to common rail, right?
Yep.
And you're an engineer, so if I'm saying something wrong, please correct me. The other cool thing about it is it's got a Posi rear end. Pretty cool, because obviously one of the things we want to do is we're trying to kind of, what's happened recently is overlanding, which we used to call, me and you used to call camping,
Yep.
right? used to become has become really in vogue and really cool and very expensive, right? People are out there getting $80,000 Sprinter vans, and we're always looking for ways you can go off-road and enjoy, you know, all that nature has to offer without breaking the bank. And these old Japanese cars were obviously a great way of doing that. Now I think the 4Runner has kind of gone through the roof already. I think people have discovered those. And the thing about the hard body is I think it's still sort of undiscovered. Underappreciated. So what we want to do is we want to kind of, you know, live it, learn it, see how it does off-road. Maybe at some point, if we can manage it, we'll even drag it to Moab. And do a little bit of more serious off-roading with it. And then, we're trying to come up with a concept for it with Baby Yoda. We did the old racing colors. Maybe we'll do that because Nissan had this really cool racing, scheme that they used to do, livery, right? Why don't you show them the inside, dude?
Yeah, for sure. I think these were independent front suspension from the get-go, right? Like 4Runner for a while had the solid axle. But you can see, like, there was a lot of thought given toward capability. So it actually has recovery points, and it's got a skid plate in the front and a skid plate in the back, right?
Yeah, full skid plate.
Yeah, and metal too, yeah. And then coming on the inside here too, I mean, this is just wild that, you know, the no tears in the fabric here in the seats. There are no cracks in the dashboard. Apparently the air conditioning works. Automatic transmission, 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, and neutral. There you can see it, like 69,000 miles indicated. Headliner is in really, really good shape. It's such a time capsule, and you can still get these really affordably. So if you're looking at an alternative to a 4Runner, this may be one. I don't know much about them. I haven't really dug into them that much, but we're going to take it off-road, see how it does, see how the automatic transmission handles, and see, you know, what the weak points are. And yeah, it's really cool. Let me show you the back seat too, because the back seat is just as clean. Look at that. You could eat off these seats back here. Looks like you got a center-mounted seat belt there, shoulder belts in the rear. It's just such a cool and unusual thing. I even see back there the original Pathfinder spare tire cover. What a cool thing.
So we looked up the horsepower number, Tommy, and it's 153. So if you were expecting,
a little ambitious.
So that's the bad news. But the good news is the air conditioner works.
Yeah, I heard.
And in case you guys are wondering, we paid $3,900 for it, which I feel is a very fair price for a car in this condition. And hopefully, what we'll prove in the weeks and months to come is, if you're looking for, a budget off-roader that'll get you out on the trail and won't break the bank, this would be a nice one. The thing about these, of course, is they're hard to find, right? I mean, they're clean ones, low mile ones are really hard to find. They're out there, but they got bashed around pretty badly. So you see a lot of them that look like they're, beyond their third life or fourth life. But this one isn't. This one is pristine.
Yeah, it's super cool.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming out. I'm so grateful. They flew all the way. Well, you flew from Detroit. You flew from Wisconsin. So, I am very grateful to be able to, become the new steward. I'm not going to say owner because we'll pass it along. So at some point we'll pass it along of the car. And I think let's have some fun with it, and let us know in the comments below what you'd like us to see with it, to do with it. I mean, if you have any ideas, we're kind of at that point now where we're working on a video series for it. So we'll read your comments, and we'll definitely consider them. As always, this is Roman behind the camera.
Tommy.
Saying thanks for watching, and see you next time on TFL Classics.